Liftoff and the clock has started.
This is Timeless Spirituality. Enjoy each and every time.
Well, hello there, everyone. This is episode number 9 of Timeless Spirituality. Today's episode is titled, Same Soul, Multiple Roles. So where does that title come from? Well, today's episode is all about disconnecting and cutting cords, and how this same dynamic can pop up in multiple lives, but the roles will be different. Someone may just be playing a new part. So today's story is all about Desirae and the dynamic that she found herself in this current incarnation, and how it played out in a previous incarnation as well. So I hope you guys enjoy this episode. And if anyone is interested in booking a session with me, you can reach me on Instagram at The Past Life Regressionist or my website, thepastliferegressionist.com. Desirae, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, before we jump into the meat of everything, I do have a question for you.
Yes.
What is your favorite song about time?
That is a loaded question because there are so many songs that I could choose from, but the one that pops into my head that whenever I hear it, I become an emotional train wreck is Good Riddance by Green Day. I just become a ball of emotion.
Which part?
The whole song, just, time grabs you by the wrists and directs you where to go. It's like time just does that to you. So that part alone, and it's just everything is a lesson that you'll learn.
So for that song, when you hear it, where does it take you to?
It takes me back to high school, or actually just graduating high school, because it was released after I had finished high school. So it's a big thing, moving out of my house with my parents, trying to be quote unquote an adult. So that whole thing on time is a big deal with that song, because it brings me back to trying to grow up. Yeah, time was grabbing me by the wrist. Like, okay, graduated high school, where are you trying to go now? So.
Yeah, and it's something unpredictable, right?
It really is. Really is.
And then just jump to, I hope you had the time of your life.
Mm-hmm.
You want to tell everyone a little bit about yourself?
That's the question I was dreading. Okay. My name's Desirae. I'm 42, going to be 43 this year, or at least in this body. From New Jersey. I've been in education for like over 20 years. And I'm just trying to figure out life, my journey, my path. I know education's not my purpose. I want to do healing work and just be somebody who's, a source or a light for other people to kind of help themselves get through this thing called life, because it's not an easy thing to do. So I figure, if we have people who help us through it, it makes things easier. So I kind of want to be that. So I really don't know who I am, but I know who I want to be. If that makes sense.
Oh, totally. And you said healing work, correct?
Healing work. So my passion, or where I'm directing it, my healing work is Reiki. So I am a certified Reiki Master Practitioner. I've been one since 2020. I've been practicing Reiki since 2019. And that's just something that I felt called to do because I suffer from depression and, used to suffer. I think we all suffer from depression. It never really goes away. You just have your moments of it. So I suffered majorly from depression. I used to suffer from chronic migraines, anxiety, and I was looking for a different way to cope with those ailments and illnesses without taking medications or without constantly being in a funk about it. And I got tired of doctors not really knowing how to diagnose it. I don't like taking medications. So I figured, let me try this Reiki thing as a patient of it, or to receive it. And it just called me. I loved it when I started receiving it. It felt like a deep tissue massage for my soul. And I was like, if I can get this all the time, or actually do this for myself and then do it for other people, it would be amazing. So I decided to go that route and learn how to do it, to receive my, attunements in it. And my life has changed ever since that, My ailments have subsided. I don't need medications that I was on. I still see all my doctors, but it's just different. Like I feel mentally better, not just physically. So that's cool.
Thank you for sharing that. I think it's pretty
Thank you.
cool. So we did a session about 7 months ago at this point, correct?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. So why is it that you wanted to do a session?
I've always been curious about past lives. And I remember, you watch these movies and people are, always talk about their past lives. And then I remember reading that, some of your ailments or illnesses can be related to past life events that happened to you. So I've always been, for at least 10 years, wanting to do a regression. And I was always wondering or looking for someone to do that for me. And I just never found the right person until you came along. So I was taking a workshop with Rachel Alice, and you happened to be the only male in the group. And she called you up to ask you questions. And I saw your face, your energy, like you were just like radiating, and you said what you did. And I was like, oh my God, I gotta write this down. And I started following you ever since that workshop. I was like, I need a session with him. And you happened to do a group workshop. It was like, there was like 12 of us. So I was like, okay, I'll sign up for that. Maybe he's just going to talk about regression. Like, it'll just be like something cool. Like I'll learn about it. But no, like we dove right in to this brief session, and it was just amazing. I wanted to just figure out, can I do this? Is it something that my mind would let me do? Because I know I'm not good at like guided meditation. I'm just not good at that. You tell me to see something, I can't see it. But if I am on my own, I know I can dream. I see in my dreams. So when we did that group session, I was like, wow, like couldn't see anything at the time. But then once the session was over, everything came into place. And it was like, it was almost as if when you were doing the group, as if like it was being drawn in invisible ink, but I could see everything and smell everything and taste everything. And then once it was done and we were closed out, I saw the actual full painting in color, the details of it. And I was like, wait, if this is just from like a 20-minute to a half an hour group thing with a bunch of other people around, I was like, what is a one-on-one going to be like with this man? And I just had to do it. And I was like, okay, there's deeper stuff that I need to know about me. What can be done? How can I do this? I need to do this. And your energy in that one workshop, the couple of questions that Rachel asked you, like radiated. And I was like, that's the guy. That's who I need to do my regression. So thank you for being in that workshop, because I'd probably still be looking for a regressionist.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I mean, thank you to Rachel Alice for having that workshop and for bringing me up to use me as a guinea pig.
Yes.
So, and just thank you for that. Like that means a lot to me. So just thank you. Truly, thank you from the bottom of my heart.
For real. You're welcome. You deserve the praise. You're amazing at what you do. And even though you say you just ask the right questions, I don't believe that. Like it's more than just that. It's you, your energy, how you sit, just it's you. So take it.
I'm melting right now.
As you told me, just own it. So there you go.
I probably should practice what I preach, right?
Yeah, you should.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Let's talk about the experience. What came up for you?
The experience itself. Okay, so I was nervous because you said we're blocking 4 to 6 hours of time. And I was like, oh my God, that's a long time. But it was worth it. And it went so quickly. And even after the time was done, because we didn't use the whole 6 hours, but I was like, oh my God, I could stay talking to him forever. Like, it's just, okay, that's a cool vibe. But I like how you do your sessions. It's the talking, like you have to be honest in the beginning. Like if you're a client receiving the regression or going through the regression, you need to be honest with how you answer the questions that Daniel, that you ask, because if you're not honest with it, your regression is not going to be an honest regression, because you're going to be too in your head trying to find your answers. So I feel like the interview process, how your questioning is, how you dive deep into that, you really make the person think and go back to situations. It's funny how certain things come up in that conversation that need to come up, that lead into what's going to come up in the regression, whether you realize it or not, as the person going through the regression. there were things that I always would, when people would ask me, oh, your life growing up, what about this? What about that? That I would automatically mention. And I completely didn't mention them to you, that they were major issues for me growing up. And I was like, how did I not ever, like, how did I forget this health issue? Or how did I not say that? And it's like, because it wasn't important that day for that session with you, because that's not what that session was supposed to be about. So I felt like that's the first thing. And I think the nerves of the regression and leading up to it were more about the interview part and being that vulnerable than actually going into the regression itself. So with my experience, that session, the life we went into, like I said, I can't see anything. It was, that's what makes it difficult. So the regression takes longer. I can only do one life at a time because I have to really sit and listen to my higher self and what's being said to me. And no matter how many times I want to say, like, that's not what they're saying. Like, I can't deny what they're saying to me. I can try to say a different color and that's not what's going to come out of my mouth because you know what color it is. Yeah, you're wearing black. Like, say you're wearing black. It's one of those things. So I felt like I'm in a dark room wearing blinders and I have to trust my higher self to tell me and guide me and say, well, this is what you're seeing. This is what you're smelling. Like, you can smell this color, which I never knew colors had smells. And that kind of stuff is what amazed me with the session, especially the detail that came through with that and trusting my higher self and really trusting myself with listening. And so that's a big thing that came through with that. The situation itself, it was letting go, cutting cords, that session, that life. Leading into the regression we had during the interview, it was discussed about a relationship that I had. And no matter how many times I kept trying to cut cords in this life, I kept cutting the cord on my end and I felt like it was being braided back on the other end, no matter how many times I tried to cut it on my own. And it's like, I kept saying I felt stuck. Oh my God, I'm stuck. I can't move. And in that life, the person that I had the relationship in this life was my son in that life. I had a husband who I loved, who was a coal miner and didn't die in the coal mines. Thank God. We lived a happy life, but he, died eventually of a lung disease, which happens from working in the coal mines, and that crushed me, but I lived for my son. My son got older, got married, had kids. And in that life, certain things were mirrored what's going on in this current life. That person in this life has a family, 2 sons and a daughter. And that life had 2 sons and a daughter so I had 2 grandsons and a daughter. The realization when that happened, I was like, oh my God, I actually came out for a brief moment during oh my God, during the regression. So it's, even as I passed in that life, Daniel kept saying, well, what are you doing now? Leave the room. My soul could not leave the room. I couldn't leave my son stuck in that life because he had been through so much with losing his dad and now losing me, the pain that I know he felt. And I did care for him and love him. I was stuck in that room. And then using the word stuck made me realize, I kept using the word stuck in the pre-regression interview. I was stuck. So you helped me cut that cord. And it was the realization of going up to him in that life and saying, well, who is it? Look him in the eye and who is it? You know who it is in this life. And it's no matter how many times I'm looking in that life, in those eyes, and obviously I can't see because this Desirae body doesn't let me, my brain doesn't let me, and I hear my higher self, say the name, the name, say it. And I'm trying, my mouth wanted to say a different name. It's you can't say that name. And even you said it, say the name because you knew. And it's the moment I said the name and we did the cord cutting, I felt such a lightness and I could breathe. And then that soul was able to leave that location and go to limbo, be with her husband in that life and actually move on and not feel stuck. And the overwhelming love and gratitude that I felt, because I felt it in that moment, for her, it was amazing. And such a relief for me, oh, I can breathe now. So to me, that was an amazing thing with the regression part of it, to actually be able to breathe and not feel stuck anymore. So I appreciate you with that. Thank you. Thank you for letting me have that moment too.
Oh, I just asked the questions.
Oh, stop it.
No, but I say it in a very non-owning it and owning it way, But I really mean it, that it's just me asking questions, because you're the one who did
Doing
all
the
the
work.
heavy. Exactly.
Yeah.
I just asked the questions because you could very well have made a decision to not cut that cord.
Mm-hmm.
You could have, but I don't want to say that there's necessarily a right or a wrong or an easy or a hard, but I will. So like the easy way and the wrong way
is to not do it.
To not do it. But
Yeah.
you did it.
Yeah.
And that's you. Like that's all you.
But you helped me. So I'm going to give you credit. Like, I don't think I could have done it seriously without having your support. Like, you were the voice in my ear, literally the voice in my ear. You were with my higher self. It was you and my higher self. Like, just do it. Come on. You got it. Like, I needed that like nudge, because I knew I wanted to do it. And I kept saying it even before, like, I need to cut this cord, like, no matter how much work, like, I'm ready to do it. And then I kind of backpedaled even in the pre-interviews where we were like, you were like, what's holding you? And I was like, I don't know. I feel stuck. And you're like, And I'm like, I really don't know what it is. Like, I couldn't explain it, but I had a feeling it was a past life connection. I didn't know what the connection was. I didn't know he was my son. No idea. I thought he was my husband. No clue he was my son. So it was a weird realization, but then it made complete sense as after the regression and going to like my relationship with him was always that kind of mothering, like, I don't care if, I just want him to be well, healthy. It was a constant, like a mothering, not that, I treated him like a child, but no matter what you do to me, I'm going to love you unconditionally. Like that kind of a thing, which was so toxic on both ends. So it's done, thank God. Which leading up to that point, it was like no contact anyway, like very minimal contact. I mean, we worked together. So it was like seeing him briefly even the day before the regression. And it was like a weird, like, he was like, hey, hi. And I was like, and I have not seen it. Like, he come into my building at work and I hear like, don't go get lunch yet. Like I hear it and I'm like, okay. And I'll see it and I'm like, oh, that's why I'm not going to get lunch yet. Okay. And the cord is cut. Don't pick up that rock again. Like, okay, you put the rock down, you're not picking it back up. And that's what my higher self said that day. And it's like, yeah, I'm really like, I'm sure if we bump into each other, we'll be civil. We'll be, he doesn't know what happened. He has no clue.
Oh, he knows.
He had the feeling, I know.
Yeah. On that deeper level, he knows.
Exactly. And he's claiming he's in a happy relationship and I want him to be happy. There's that mother thing again. I've always just wanted him to be happy, whether it was with me or without me, like just be happy and healthy. Just when things fall apart in whatever aspects of your life, if they do, I'm not your security blanket anymore. So don't come coming back to me. And that was always the repeated pattern.
So here's what's ironic about that statement you just made. I just want him to be happy. I actually believe it when you say it.
I do. I want him to be happy and healthy. Like I've always had, which is really sad because even when he was treating me wrong and I was I really did just want him to be happy, whether it was with me or not. I didn't want him to keep dragging me along. That I think was the biggest issue. Or even when I was ready to cut cords and I'm like, I'm cutting the cord, and he's showing up in my dreams. Oh my God. And like causing chaos. That was the worst. I'm like, oh, why are you so erratic? Like it was bad. We're now like, if he does pop in, he's quiet in the corner. Like I'm like, oh, okay. It's gotten to that point. So I'm just like, all right, just keep an eye and pay attention to physical, like what's happening in this realm here, what's happening in the dream realm, like pay attention to all of it because little things can come through, little messages, and just, I keep an eye on things that way. So
like what I often tell people is you still have to do the heavy lifting even after the session, because the way that I see it is it's almost as if, let's just say, you were carrying around a pail full of rocks or a bucket full of rocks. I think a bucket and a pail are pretty much the same thing, right?
I think so. I think a bucket could be bigger.
Okay, let's say a bucket. Let's go for a bucket in this case then. So big old bucket of rocks you were carrying around. Mm-hmm. And then you had the opportunity to dump all the rocks out of that bucket. Yeah. But then it's up to you whether or not you allow the rocks to start filling up again. Yeah. And that's what's also hard, I think, is, you may be faced with those situations where some rocks or pebbles may try to
find their way back in.
Right. But that's like where the hard work comes into play also, is not allowing that to happen and confronting it And I'm getting the feeling that you're keeping that bucket pretty empty.
Yeah. And I've wanted to. And that was a big thing, was I was like, I really did want to. It was just, how do I needed that extra help of doing, like, even like people who have the weight loss, or like the gastric bypass, like the, the sleeve, you need that initial help to lose the weight, but it's maintaining it and keeping it off, and that's how I felt like I needed to get that weight off of me. And like, I'll maintain, I'll do the work to keep it off because I'm tired of carrying it. And that's exactly what it felt like. I needed somebody to really help me get there, to take it off, because it was just, I couldn't do it alone. I kept trying to do it alone, and I needed the extra help.
And that's totally okay. I think that, I'm just going to venture to guess right now that the overwhelming majority of the population probably needs a little bit of help.
But it's just sticking to the work after.
Exactly. And while, I'm loving every second of this and just hearing how much it's helped you, I don't want anyone to think that I'm a miracle worker. And that I just like you said, I was just there holding the space for you. I was whispering in your ear.
In my ear.
With your higher self as well. Ear. But it was you. Like, you have the power. So for anyone listening, it's not me, it's you. Like, you have to want it like Desirae did. You had to say after the fact, I'm going to keep that bucket empty like Desirae has.
I'm going to do that work. Yeah.
Because no one else can do that for you.
No, you have to want to do it. And I think that takes the most work. And I think that's why a lot of people, like the shadow work, quote unquote shadow work, a lot of people don't want to do it because it's hard work. It's, the end results are amazing, but it's a constant thing that you have to do. It's working on yourself is never ending, constant, because you can have a bad day. And if you fall into that one bad day, and you stay there, it can trigger like a lifetime of depression or whatever. But if you let that moment just stay as a moment and not turn into a day, and not turn into like a bad week, like let your bad moment be your moment, feel your emotions, cry, scream, yell, journal, whatever you need to do to get those feelings out of you, let them go and move on. It doesn't consume you. And I feel like that's what a lot of people do too, is they want what they think is like, oh, the happy ending and the glorified, like, oh, the picture of, oh, my happy life. Yeah, life is full of ups and downs. It's not always just happy. Like, oh, when people get married, oh, the happily ever after. No, it's all the work in between and the ups and downs. It's never just always happy. And that's what the work on yourself is. You have to commit to it. It's the constant commitment to yourself. And that's a big thing that people can't do. You're willing to commit to everyone else, and I would do anything for you. You're the one you're with the longest. You're the thoughts, you're the voice, you need to do that work for you, no matter how hard it is. And you have to be committed to it, otherwise it's not going to work.
From my experience, this is just my take on it. It's my own belief. This is a multi-life facet we're dealing with here.
Yeah.
So if you don't address it in this life, whatever that situation or circumstance or relationship, whatever it may be, it's going to carry over into a future incarnation. It may not be the next one, but it may be 5 lives down the road. And if you want to kick the can down the road, that's okay. I don't know why you'd want to, because if something sucks, why do you want it to happen again?
And it may be worse the next time it comes around. Like, it could be so easy now to get it done because it's being presented to you in a way that you can resolve it. The next time it comes up, it could be a million times worse or harder to get around.
And so with yours, I do wonder if, this person that you talked about in this life, who was your son in a past life, I wonder if there were other dynamics that were at play before, if you guys were in a relationship in other lives, which is a possibility. I don't want to guess. So let's just, for the hypothetical I'm about to throw out there, let's stick with him just being your son.
That one. Yeah. And it's done. That one and this one, and that's it.
And so this is where my mind goes to, thinking about just the intricacies of the lessons at play, is if he was just your son, then why show up in this role when he wasn't your son? Because if it's learning lessons of repeated patterns, you'd think that he would show up in a similar role. But here's what I think is a possibility, if it's just as it came across, that he was just your son in one life. It's that he's one of these souls where, you guys kind of met up on the other side and you're like, yo, I've got this thing, like I've had this pattern in past lives, these toxic relationships. And, I don't know if I want to meet up with those other souls, or we've already figured it out another way, but I still need to learn this lesson. So, hey, son from my previous incarnation, would you like to fill that role? But you're not going to be my son this time, because that would just be weird.
Yeah, let's make it really weird.
So what do you say? Will you sign that? And he's like, yeah, sure. That's cool. Yeah, I'm in. I don't know where I was going with that, but what's your take on what I just said?
But it's twisted that happens. Yeah, he was my son. And then in this life, I was like, oh my God, he's the love of my life. Like, yeah, no, really. Like, and then I'm like, ew, it's so gross.
Oh,
but
you want me to give you a really good one?
No, don't. Let's not do it.
Oh, no, I'm definitely going there right now.
Of course you're going to go there. That's just you. God.
Is when I see, some of my clients who are in good, healthy relationships right now, and they see their significant other as a child of theirs in a past life, or
that's bad,
or their mother or father, the look on their face when they see that,
disturbing, right?
Just, oh my God, like
they can't look at them the same,
right? And when they come out, if they haven't already just worked themselves up in that moment, which usually doesn't happen, I just have to explain, like, roles change. It's okay. They are not that to you now. It's not weird. It's nothing biological.
They don't remember that either. Like, it's not something that you come in remembering. Yeah.
Yeah. I just also don't think it's something you can forget after the fact. Like, when you're looking that person in the eye after.
Oh my God. It's so funny because after, of course, obviously I tell both of my sisters, the one that I'm really close, the one I've had 585 lifetimes with, her and my other sister. I was like, so, oh my God, guess what? He was my son in this life, blah, 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 in this past life. So then my mom's birthday rolls around, right? And I post on Facebook, like, wishing her a happy birthday. And he hasn't, like, we're Facebook friends, but like, I don't follow him. Like, I have to go looking for him, but he follows, like, he's restricted. So he comments like, happy birthday to your mom. So I took a screenshot of it and I sent it to both of my sisters in our group text. And I was like, oh, guess who had to wish grandma a happy birthday? And like, they were cracking up. They were like, oh my God, he just wants to get a Christmas gift from her this year. Make sure he's good with grandma. Like, it was so funny. Or like, my sister went to the school because my niece is now a freshman, but it was like June. So she had to go for an orientation. And we're sitting there and I was like, how was the orientation? She was like, I saw your son. I was like, oh. Like, did he see you? She goes, yeah. She was like, no, it was civil. Like, she goes, like, he's always genuine and like nice to me. I was like, you can still talk to him. Like, I have no problem with that. Like, it's always a genuine hello and a nice, nice to see you. And he was shocked when he saw my niece and whatever, but it was the way she said it in the text. I saw your son. It's just like now this private joke that we're just like, my son, like, so funny.
You mean you saw your nephew?
Yeah, exactly. They won't claim him. He's mine. So funny.
It's interesting the way those dynamics play out.
Yeah, it really is. It's so
very
funny.
Disturbing at the same time, but very interesting. I mean, I love that look. Oh.
But you see a lot. I'm sure you get more than half, right? More than half of your clients, like, that comes up probably. Where a significant other or a family member is because it's your soul contract, your soul family. You do repeat certain things with certain people.
I wouldn't say half, although I'd say
more. It's more common than you think.
Yeah,
right?
But I just don't think that we see it all the time in sessions. Yeah,
or not in the lives that come up, because it's always based on what needs to be cleared at that moment.
Exactly. But it does happen. Like, I did a session yesterday and it happened. The person's fiance in this life was his son in the past life. And, the person in this life had, when she told me his name initially during the pre-session, his name was shorter than the full name that he has. So when she saw him in that past life, she referred to him by the full name.
Oh.
But why I found it kind of funny is, it's like, for me, when my mom was pissed off at me when I was younger.
She calls you by your full name.
Like my full name. So, it was hearing her refer to him that way. I was like, okay, yeah, sure. But
God.
it happens.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I hope I didn't just break
ruin
up
the
that
wedding.
marriage to be, So
Like, I can't marry you. You're my son.
still, for anyone listening, I hate to break it to you,
Oh my
but
God.
whoever your significant other is,
More than likely.
more
Yeah.
than likely, you've probably had them as your child, or they've been your parent at one time or another, or your children. They've probably been a spouse in a past life.
Yes. I told
Sorry.
you.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
my
okay.
niece,
It's okay.
my one niece, I told in our pre-session interview that I said she claimed to be my mom and my sister's mom and a friend of ours mother in a past life. And it came like that. It was a brief life, but she was. So she's still, I was your mom, right? Wasn't I? Like, and she's 9 now. And she's like, you need to listen to me. I'm like, I don't need to listen to you. You're 9. Like, in this life right now, you're younger than me. You listen to me. So they forget. And when they're young, the little ones they're still so innocent or connected that, she says things and I'm like, this one has a gift and I hope she stays with it. But sometimes I'm like, oh, she says things and it scares me. Too funny. So
It's the wisdom of the message.
yes, big time. So
let's talk about the higher self portion a little bit. How'd that feel for you?
I enjoyed that portion because it brought me back to when we did the big group workshop. So I already knew what I was going to see as far as when you said, go to a garden so I knew already what I was seeing because I had seen it or like before. So I knew where I was going to sit, where I was going to meet my higher self. I knew my higher self's name because we had already introduced ourselves in the big group session that you had done. So I felt at home and comfortable in that moment. And I loved how you asked permission of how if you could speak directly to my higher self, or if you wanted to speak to me through me to my higher self. And it was like, no, you speak to the higher self, like my higher self. Do it. I don't want to be involved in that. Like, because then I got to think about what's being said. No, and translate. No, we're not doing all that. Like, you do it.
Which
that way, whatever comes up, comes up.
But the irony still is that
it's
it was still coming through you.
Yeah,
so.
But
I hear
it's
you
like
though.
You know what I'm saying.
It is definitely different.
Yeah. And
Sorry
the
for cutting
conversation.
you off there, yeah.
No, it's fine. And the conversation, like even when you said you were like, just know that when you hear the recording, you're speaking in third person. I'm like, okay. Like I wouldn't expect to not be speaking in third person because sometimes I do that myself. Like in this life, that's me. I refer to myself in third person. So that I felt that was it was personal. It ties everything back up. It makes you feel a little more in tune with yourself, because sometimes when you just feel lost, like you really do want to talk to your higher self. And sometimes you don't feel like you have complete access to, which you completely do. You just kind of forget that it's right there. That connection is always there. It's just hearing it, like hearing the answers back to you. It's like, it's learning how to tap into that. So I feel like that portion of it was the easiest portion. So I enjoyed that because certain questions, but coming up with those questions to ask my higher self was very difficult. Like, what do you want to know? Like, I don't know. Like, what does my higher self want to tell me? I'm always that type of person. Like, I don't want to know what I want to know. Like, I want to know what you want to tell me, which is dumb because whatever I want to know is what you want to tell me. Right? No? Yes? Maybe?
Yes, no, maybe so. Yeah. I think we have to initiate. So even in the act of writing out the questions, you're basically setting an intention.
Yeah. For
what you want to uncover. And I think in the act of doing that, it's like your higher self is saying, okay, all right, you're ready.
We'll go there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm, we'll go there. And the worst that they can do is say, no, she's not ready.
Yeah.
Which does happen. But if it does happen, there's usually a very valid reason for it. And I have had a lot of people who have come in with something they really want answered.
And it doesn't get answered.
And yeah, the higher self will say, no, it's not the right time. And this is why. Mm-hmm. And I don't feel like they're disappointed after. I think, or at least I think and feel that they understand why now wasn't the right time. Yeah. So I think that even when you're connecting with your higher self in that space, you feel that wisdom as well. Because still everything is coming through you. And just even to piggyback on what you were saying about having that connection with yourself. When I first had my first regression and I learned about the higher self, I thought that my regressionist was going to be I don't know, doing like a seance or something and putting a Merlin hat on and you're just waving a wand all over the room.
Dancing around you.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not it.
No.
It's something that's so simple.
Yeah.
Because you have such easy access to it. We all have it if we want to access it, which to me is just so cool. Granted, it doesn't matter of just getting all the other garbage out of the way, because that's really all that this process is.
Yeah.
I just need to spend a couple minutes at the beginning just getting you out of your head. And once you're out of your head and not thinking about doing the laundry or, you know, I don't know, just play Mad Libs with whatever the activity is.
Yeah.
Then you can access all this information. It is right at our fingertips. Well, okay, bad way for me to put it.
Yeah.
It's like the phone analogy. It is all in your brain and all in the subconscious.
But a lot of people, that's their issue, is they can't quiet that noise. It's that they're so easily distracted by the outside. And that's what it is. It's quieting that noise. Like, that's why I can't meditate. Like, I have so much noise going on. Now I can finally like sit in silence with myself and actually hear, but I still can't picture. Like, you tell me to picture a tree. Like, I'm like, oh my God, what does a tree look like? I forget. I can't do it. It's so weird. Like, it's like, okay, I don't like being told what to do. So don't tell me what to do in a meditation. You can't do it. But I feel like even after having the group regression and then the single regression, it's so much easier for me to now communicate with my higher self and actually hear what she's saying. And knowing her name, I sit and I have a conversation with her. And, you know, like, I do my prayers in the morning, my meditation when I journal. And I'm like, you know, you got anything to say? Like, it's, and, you know, sometimes she'll answer me. Other times she's like, you don't need to know that right now. But like, even with you, when you were asking the questions of like, you know, with certain ailments and things like that, can we clear that? And she was like, no, she needs to do that on her own. I'm like, dude, like, are you serious? Like, come on, let Daniel help clear it. Like, certain things, you know, where it's like, all right, let's do this. And then you even said, like she wants you to do the work. And I'm like, oh, come on. Been here how many times already? Like, give me a little help. So. Yeah,
but let's be honest with that one. It made sense to you.
It did. And I know that. And it's like, all right, that's why I'm here. But even what she said, and I took notes when I listened to the playback, hearing it a couple of months after, and it's like, oh, okay, like, I get it. So certain things did clear, other things I knew I had to work on. I knew how to work on them. So it was good, like, perfect timing. Like, things work when they're supposed to. You know, our timing is not our time. It's divine timing. It's when you need to know it, how you need to know it, when it has to happen, how it's working. And it's amazing how this thing works. And I'm so impressed by it. So.
Well, thank you so much for sharing all that.
Of course.
And now that everyone's had a chance to get to know you, how can they work with you?
Like I said, I'm a Reiki practitioner. So I offer distance healings. That's a big thing that I've been doing, especially since I'm in New Jersey. I don't have a set location, so I do a lot of stuff from home. So distance healings are the easiest thing to do. And the same way you do some of your sessions via Zoom, Reiki is energy. It doesn't know time, space, distance. It's like the Wi-Fi and electricity. It's out there. You don't need to physically touch anything to feel the energy in a room. Or so I do distance healings via Zoom. So at least there's a connection that way. I offer collective healings, and my one-on-ones are few and far between, especially with the holidays and stuff like that. And if I know you, I'll be like, okay, I have you in my house. But I am on Instagram at Yellow Finch Healing, all one word, Yellow Finch, like the bird, which I'm deathly afraid of, and healing. So you can follow me there. I post on when I'm doing collective healings, distance healings, that. I have a website, yellowfinchhealing.com, and that gives all of my info of who I am, the sessions that I offer, and what Reiki is. If anybody has questions, I'm always willing to answer. So.
Well, Desirae, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
It was my pleasure, and just thank you for being you. And just thank you for all the feedback. Like, it really means a lot to me. So just thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Well, thank you for having me, Daniel. And you know that I appreciate you because we do have a bond. We were brothers once, a long time ago, right? And a life. It was a quick one.
I've met a lot of brothers in
brothers,
the last 7 months. So.
Exactly.
But yeah, it makes sense. Yeah,
it makes sense. We have a strange, easy conversational.
It makes total sense.
Yeah.
And I am an only child in this life. Yeah. So
There you go. You're meeting all your siblings through your sessions.
Yeah. That's you're like, yeah. A lot of my clients were my siblings and a lot of other things.
Your holiday card list is going to be really long. No, but seriously, thank you for having me.
I have a book of it.
Oh my God. Oh my God. That's so funny.
Yeah, I probably got how many pages filled up with that one?
Oh my God.
7 pages filled up of past life connections. Yeah.
Oh my God. That's so funny. Hey, it keeps life interesting. You know?
It definitely does.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an interesting life that I live.
Well, I love talking to you, and I like even when you do your, your Instagrams, when you were doing your past life Tuesdays and your talks and everything, like even when you had your own personal talk, like when you told your story, I was so emotional, like watching. I was like, I was so proud of you for speaking your truth, and I was like, like I couldn't catch it when it was live, so like I caught the replay, and I couldn't watch it all in one sitting. I had to pause it and like write down the time stamp of what it was, because I'm so proud of you. Like I just feel like that, it's a strange connection that we have because it's through Zoom and through social media and all of that, but there is a connection and I feel it with you. So I'm honored to be on your podcast, and to just have a connection with you is amazing. And it's always a pleasure to talk to you.
You too. So. And yeah, that brotherly love never dies.
No, it never does, ever. So you're stuck with me.
I'll take it. Fellow time travelers, your journey through time awaits you. Just want to thank you guys so much for listening to today's episode. And if you're interested in discovering who, when, and where you have been throughout time, and you'd like to book a session with me, just go ahead and send me a message on Instagram at The Past Life Regressionist, or you can reach me through my website, yourpastliferegressionist.com.